Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
Not Mr. Magazine.
Oh my God, is that something shiny? Oh, no, it's not just the sunlight. So today we're talking about avoiding... Did I hear something outside? Oh, no, okay. Avoiding distractions. And my question to you, Mr. Magazine, is how do you do that?
Well, I like to leave right now. That's one way. How do you avoid distraction? Well, you have to focus. Of course, it's all about focus.
But how do you do that? How do you do that? Because I've been with you before socially, never again. And I've been with you on buys, things like that. And it's almost impossible for you and me to talk on a deal, that kind of deal, because all of a sudden we're driving somewhere and your phone rings, and your phone might ring 3 times in a 15-minute thing, and your phone's ringing all day long. And I can't believe that you get, especially because if you've ever been by Mr. Magazine's store, if you go to the back, his desk is back there on the right. His employees, basically, it's an open area, and everybody can talk to each other. And the customers can come in, and he can look around the corner and see them there and walk up.
Or hide.
That's true, too. But my question is, how do you possibly find it possible to avoid distractions in the workplace? Because everybody wants your attention. Everybody's always got a problem. And how are you able to focus on anything?
Well, for starters, I never said I'm good at focusing. But I can see when my employees aren't focused, I can teach them and show them how they should focus. And I've had meetings with the employees before, and keep your personal stuff at home. If it's going to affect your work, just don't come in, we get it, or something like that. But obviously, don't bring your personal problems to your desk, because then, it's only going to bother you. It's going to fester in your head. You won't be able to focus on your job. And then if you make mistakes, it could cost the company money. We could get kicked off for violations and so forth. So try and make it important to them to do their best. We do give them cell phones. We tell them not to use them, obviously, in good faith. They do get breaks that they can use their phones. But as far as I go, there's something called Chuck time. And it's about 3 to 5 in the morning when I'm at my shop, when I can focus. I got no one around me, no one bothering me. Sometimes Daddy's doing the laundromat, but for the most part, it's just Chuck, other than Mondays when we're together. But again, that's where I go through all my problems by myself, handle what I got to do for the day, write down, take some notes, and then that starts my day for when I get to the warehouse and the shop and so forth. So, but once I get to the shop or the warehouse, my focus definitely diminishes a little bit because of the environment I'm around. Someone always needs help, or there's a problem, the laundromat, the shop, the warehouse. So I do the best I can, but like I said, in the morning, I try to take care of problems from the night before, the day before, and get them out of the way, and then, create a new schedule of things to do for the next day.
All right. And the reason I'm asking is because I'm obviously working out of the house, and you've got the family around, which is akin to you having the employees around. The mail comes, working from home, you've got life things that you need to do. Oh, I'm going to go make myself another cup of coffee. Oh, I'm going to go do the laundry. Oh, let me go do this. Oh, let me run this down in the basement. Did the mail come yet? Did this happen? Did that happen? And you can find 50,000 excuses not to do things. Right. And even some of it isn't necessarily wasting time, but it's not listing time, and things like, I don't really feel like listening this minute, but that collection came in. Let me sort it out a little bit. And then you're there sorting a collection out when, yes, it does have to be sorted, but it probably doesn't have to be sorted right now. You allowed yourself to get distracted from listing, as opposed to waiting for the inevitable eBay glitch. And, now I can't list because the listing tool is down. Now is the time to sort it. Or, geez, this is going to take a whole bunch of research, and I've only got 5 minutes before we got to leave. Let me do a little bit of sorting for those 5 minutes as opposed to something else. So you definitely can. It's almost like a Jenga game where you're putting the little pieces in, the little times you have and all that. Sure. But I do find it, and I'm a fairly focused person, and I find it very difficult to stay focused a lot of time when sure. I'm working from home. Yeah. Now I think a lot of that is because I don't have to list, because I've got the day job and all that. And so if it's a Thursday morning and I happen to have the day off of work for some reason or other, there's some show I'm going to at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 7:30 in the morning. Anything I'm listening that morning is gravy to me.
Right.
So I think I kind of do allow myself to get distracted a little bit because let me do this, let me do that. I'll give a perfect example. I always bid in Heritage every week for their auctions. And the auction ends Tuesday night. And usually what I do is Thursday morning, I bid.
Mm.
I happen to be running a little bit ahead tonight. I bid tonight, Wednesday night, rather than waiting until Thursday morning. Now, in theory, that gives me more time tomorrow morning. Whether I'll actually have that time or not, I don't know. But I sat there and I said, I just don't really feel like getting into listing because I know you were coming over and I wasn't certain what time you were coming over. So I didn't want to get into a big pile of listing. You come over and then I got to drop it.
Sure.
So I said, let me fill in that time with the Heritage auction.
Mm-hmm.
And I also watched Pure Hustle podcast. I usually watch them Thursday morning also. I watched them while I was bidding on Heritage stuff. So that's all out of the way. Tomorrow is going to be easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, what do you think the odds that I list a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow morning are? Or will I find something else, maybe something that I usually do Friday morning, I'll do tomorrow morning instead?
Well, you probably had trouble sleeping after you saw they sold like something they bought for $1 for $8,000. So you just toss and turn like, why can't that be me? Why can't that be me? Right?
Well, obviously. But you always give Orlando crap, don't you? But yeah, so I just kind of was wondering, again, I could see it being very, very difficult for you focusing at all. But yeah, that does make sense with the employees. One thing, it is difficult for them not to bring home with them because obviously if something's weighing on their mind, it's going to weigh on their mind regardless.
Right.
But again, like you said, hopefully they're not fighting and on the phone all day fighting or in between, sending nasty texts out to their girlfriend or whatever in the middle, and it is affecting their job. But yeah, it is difficult to focus. So if you are out there having problems focusing, you are not alone.
I'd say prioritize too. That's the key that will help you focus. Because you want to get the important stuff out of the way for sure, and then you can coast with the, the minor stuff after that. So that's another thing I try and do. Like what needs to be done at this point, what needs to be done at that point, that I can do later. And then not that you're not going to focus, but you don't have to worry about some of this stuff. Then instead of worrying about 10 things, worry about the 3 important things that got to be done in this hour or so forth.
That's a good thing too. And then there are some things that, again, you can put it off and it doesn't take a lot of brain work to do. You can just kind of something you have to do anyway. And you kind of do that in a time where you're just like, yeah, I don't really have to be thinking a lot right now. I'm tired, so I can just do this quick little task that has to get done.
Right.
I got to order postage supplies. Let me do that now, right before I go to bed. Let me just get that order in because it has to get done.
Right.
But why waste prime time tomorrow morning ordering postage supplies when I can do it right now and just get it done?
Sure.
So there's a trick to doing it. We haven't quite figured it out yet, but we've learned our best to work around it. But don't worry, you will get distracted. It is common. Don't get down on yourself for that. Just try to limit the distractions as best you're able to do so. And again, that's the other thing too. I get up and got off our early time as well. And a lot of people ask me why, and it's just like, you've got Chuck time, that's my time. Nobody is bothering me at 3:15 in the morning other than you. So that is my time that I can really focus on getting the things done that I need to do, plan out my day and get all that set up at 3:15 in the morning versus 7:30 in the morning when the day job phone might be ringing and this might be happening and that might be happening. Oh, did I put the garbage out? No, did I do this? No, did I do that? 3:15 in the morning, I don't have any of those concerns.
Exactly.
So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Hit the like button, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.